It's an absolute pleasure this afternoon to tell you about a really beautiful painting by one of Australia's most famous landscape painters. And it's actually Sir Hans Heysen that we're going to talk about this afternoon. Hans Heysen was actually born in Germany in 1877, but he came to Australia as a young boy when he was 6 years old and virtually spent his whole life painting here in Australia, apart from a period when he was young, when he won a scholarship and he went to paint all around Europe. What he's famous for is these really beautiful, soft, romantic landscape pictures that often feature cattle or sheep, but it's done in this most gentle colouring and often with a really delicate feel for the light, which is something that the watercolour of medium is perfect for. It's got a gentle, delicate feel about it. A lot of the works of Hans Heysen's were actually painted in South Australia. And in fact, if you go to the Art Gallery of South Australia, there are some magnificent pictures of Heysen's there, huge oils as well as many beautiful watercolours. I really recommend that because seeing them is very awe-inspiring. It actually is almost like a patriotic thing to go and look at these stunning pictures. So the Adelaide Hills, and particularly Harndorf, or just outside Harndorf, is where Hans spent much of his time. And he has a property there called the Cedars, which you can still go to now. It's a lovely, living museum of his home and his life. You can see his incredible studio. When Heysen was alive, he was one of Australia's most commercially successful painters, and many well-to-do people in society would commission him to paint work. And it's these beautiful things, landscapes around the landscape around his home at the Cedars that he's really well known for. You will also see fantastic works of Heysen's of the Flinders Ranges, and the colours in those are unbelievable. He would take painting trips out there as well. One really special thing about Hans Heysen, which no other Australian artist has ever eclipsed, is that he's won the prestigious Wynne Prize for Landscape an unprecedented 9 times. And the Wynne Prize is a little bit like the Archibald Prize, which everyone's heard of, but it's the prize for landscape painting in Australia. In fact, it's awarded by the trustees of the Art Gallery of New South Wales. They award the Archibald, the Sulman and the Wynne, which are 3 of Australia's most prestigious prizes. So he had a very, very distinguished career. He was knighted, obviously, Sir Hans Heysen, and he also won an OBE for his services to the arts in 1954. Hans Heysen died in the 1960s, but people are still collecting his beautiful pieces. They don't come up for sale very often. Being watercolours, they're delicate things, so it's lovely to have one in such beautiful condition. And one really lovely thing, of course, about this, which you can see, is the gorgeous gold-leafed antique frame that's part of the gorgeous presentation for this lovely picture. I hope you enjoyed listening a little bit about Sir Hans Heysen. And I'd just like to leave with one final little thing about his work. When you think about Heysen, one of the things that always springs to mind for me, and I think for many other collectors, is his love of the gum tree. And you can see that here in his paintings. He's really immortalised that as an Australian symbol, and we probably don't even realise that because it's just become part of our visual history, seeing lovely pictures like this with the Australian gums in them. So yeah, that's a little bit about Heysen. I hope you enjoyed the insight, and I look forward to telling you a little bit more about some other paintings shortly. Thanks for listening.